Have you ever heard of the Hamptons? The history of the Hamptons as a dwelling place for the really wealthy members of society goes as far back as the late 19th century, when the community went from being a farming community with great potato grounds to a popular destination for the wealthy. The Hamptons housed some old money elites such as the Pont family, the Ford family, the Rockefeller family, and many others, especially the Gardiners, who even owned an entire island in the town of East Hampton. In this video, we will look at the history of the Hamptons and the mansions owned by old money elites and located in the prestigious Hamptons. The Hamptons are known as a popular seaside resort and one of the historical summer colonies of the northeastern United States. However, this place goes far beyond being a summer colony or a seaside resort. It has built a long history of catering to the wealthy, not just any wealthy, but the old money elites specifically. The New York Times once wrote in 1893 stating, "The beautiful villages clustering around Old Southampton, including Quohue, Good Ground, the rest of the Hamptons, and the incomparable Shinnecock Hills, combine to make as close an approach to Eden as can be found in a long journey." Exclusive, in the best sense of the word, society is here represented during the summer by its choicest spirits. Well-bred men and women find a pleasant atmosphere, refined attractions in plenty, and innumerable charms about these quaint old villages. The Hamptons contain many communities and have been historically devoted to agriculture and fishing in the past years. Considering the area's geographic location, it maintains strong commercial and social connections to New England and the neighboring Rhode Island and Connecticut states. Many of the initial settlers were from, and most of the trade links were with various communities in Connecticut. Also, many of the older architecture and aesthetics of the villages and hamlets in the Hamptons resemble New England, which is especially true for Sag Harbor Village and East Hampton Village. The Hamptons expanded significantly once direct rail links to New York City were established. The village of Southampton, known as the oldest of the Hamptons villages and the most westward of the villages in the core area of the Hamptons, grew rapidly, and it still remains the largest and most diverse of the towns in the Hamptons. During the 1960s, the Hamptons, a popular vacation getaway for the wealthy, underwent a stunning makeover. This famous era saw dramatic cultural upheavals and the rise of a bohemian charm that would forever determine the region's identity. What was originally a rural area with a seaside resort experienced an artistic change that turned the Hamptons around completely. The 1960s saw a new wave of artists, writers, and musicians travel to the Hamptons for inspiration and a vacation from the frantic city life. The region grew into a hub of artistic expression and cultural discovery. Abstract expressionist artists such as Jackson Pollock and Willem de Kooning established studios in the Hamptons, seeking inspiration from the area's tranquil scenery and bustling art culture. The region became an artistic hotspot, attracting avant-garde artists from all over the world. The Hamptons also saw the rise of an alternative lifestyle. The Beat Generation's influence was felt throughout the area, with iconic luminaries such as Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg appearing at vibrant poetry readings and gatherings. With historic performances by Bob Dylan and the Rolling Stones, music festivals and outdoor concerts became a hallmark of the Hamptons' summer culture. The local music venues were alive with the sounds of folk, rock, and psychedelic melodies, reflecting the rebellious attitude of the time. The Hamptons underwent enormous transformations during the 1970s, when the region became a playground for the wealthy and a dynamic setting for cultural development. The Hamptons in the 1970s epitomized relaxation, luxury, and dynamic cultural evolution with its magnificent beaches, premium resorts, and social life. The Hamptons' reputation as a summer resort for New York City's affluent peaked in the 1970s. Luxurious developments, expensive restaurants, and high-end businesses catering to rich tastes increased in the region, and celebrities, artists, and business leaders descended on the Hamptons, creating a spectacular scene. In the 1970s, cultural variety began to shape the Hamptons. African American populations became more visible, adding to the region's creative and cultural fabric. During this period, environmental consciousness grew, with an increasing emphasis on preservation and sustainable techniques. Efforts to safeguard the region's natural beauty and famous sites, such as the Montauk Point Lighthouse, gained traction, setting the way for future environmental measures. The region developed as a shelter for the wealthy and a breeding ground for artistic expression, thanks to its luxurious offers, thriving arts scene, and expanding diversity. In the 1980s, the Hamptons experienced a fascinating convergence of old money elites and a surge of lavish lifestyles. This was a unique age in which established old money families and the growing new money elites worked together to construct the social fabric of the Hamptons. The Hamptons in the 1980s was a playground for old money elites with age-old ties to the region. Old money families such as the Astors, Vanderbilts and Whitneys kept their big mansions and renowned reputation in the area as they continued to establish the Hamptons' identity, fusing their timeless elegance with the shifting dynamics of the time. However, the 1980s saw the birth of a new generation of wealthy individuals who contributed to the social scene of the region. Successful business owners, corporate titans and financiers joined the ranks of the old money elites, adding to the luxury and extravagance associated with the Hamptons. While the presence of old money elites remained strong, the Hamptons attracted celebrities from the entertainment, fashion and arts industry in the 1980s. Renowned performers, artists and fashion icons like Ralph Lauren contributed a glamorous and influential element to the social scene. The heritage of the old money elites continued to resonate alongside changing wealth and influence dynamics, making the Hamptons a destination where tradition, extravagance and evolving social circles intersected. The Hamptons have long been a favorite getaway for old money elites, drawing notable families with established legacies of wealth and influence. Some of the old money elites who have made the Hamptons their home include the Astor family. The Astor family has roots in the Hamptons dating back to the late 1800s, when William Waldorf Astor built his luxurious Beechwood estate in Newport, Rhode Island. The Astors subsequently established a foothold in the Hamptons, with estates such as the renowned Ferncliff Mansion. Ferncliff Mansion, built in the late 1800s, is a testimony to the lavish lifestyle of the Astor dynasty and has a prominent role in the region's history. The home incorporates aspects of English Gothic and French Renaissance Revival architecture, and its expansive grounds include groomed gardens, stunning pathways, and a serene pond, creating an excellent location for leisure and relaxation. The interior of Ferncliff is stunning, with intricate decorations, high ceilings, and beautiful furnishings. The estate was a focal point for elaborate banquets and society events frequented by New York's elite. Today, Ferncliff is a treasured architectural monument, preserving the Astor family's legacy and demonstrating the pinnacle of Hampton's luxury living. The Vanderbilt Family. During the Gilded Age, the Vanderbilt dynasty, led by Cornelius Vanderbilt, amassed huge fortunes. Their influence spread to the Hamptons, where they built huge mansions like the majestic Idle Hour in Oakdale, New York. The Idle Hour home indicates the Vanderbilt family's supremacy and richness, displaying ageless elegance and historical significance. Idle Hour, which was built in the late 1800s, incorporates Gilded Age and Italian Renaissance revival elements. The huge estate includes groomed gardens, serene water features, and lovely walks that provide a tranquil and picturesque environment. Idle Hour's interior is filled with superb craftsmanship, intricate decoration, and sumptuous furnishings, reflecting the atmosphere of a wealthy and refined era. Idle Hour served as a prominent gathering place for socialites and dignitaries of the time, and it is now an architectural gem, preserving the family's legacy and affording an insight into the famous lifestyle of the Hamptons. The Whitney family descended from entrepreneur William Collins Whitney. The Whitney family made substantial contributions to art and philanthropy. They too made an impression on the Hamptons with stunning buildings like Westbury House in Old Westbury, which highlighted their wealth and exquisite taste. The Westbury estate embodies the Whitney family's elegance and magnificence. The wealthy Whitneys own this magnificent estate, reflecting the flawless charm and architectural splendor. Westbury was built in the late 1800s and featured a mix of architectural styles, including Georgian and Tudor revival elements. The estate's beautiful grounds include meticulously manicured gardens, tranquil walks, and charming courtyards that create a pleasant and picturesque atmosphere. The interior of Westbury features superb craftsmanship, luxurious furnishings, and intriguing artwork that reflects the Whitney family's refined taste. Today, the Westbury Mansion is a cherished historical landmark, maintaining the Whitney family's rich past and adding to the Hamptons' attraction as a refuge of elegance and beauty. The Parrish Family. The Parrish family was famous in the Hamptons for their role in the publishing sector. Samuel L. Parrish was a passionate art collector and very helpful in creating the Parrish Art Museum in Southampton, which is still a cultural monument today. The Parrish family estate, a beautiful Hamptons residence, is a tribute to the Parrish family's tradition and love of the arts. This prestigious estate displays timeless elegance along with cultural significance. The mansion is an elegant combination of classic and contemporary architecture, built in a style that matches the surrounding natural beauty. The huge grounds are filled with lush flowers, attractive outdoor places, and a sense of tranquility. The mansion's remarkable art collection reflects the Parrish family's love for creativity and expression. The Parrish family estate is now a treasured landmark, honoring the family's devotion to the arts and adding to the Hamptons' image as a cultural sanctuary. The most expensive home ever sold in the US. This title is rarely seen anywhere, but it belongs to a property once owned by Henry DuPont, a member of the old money elite industrialist DuPont family. This property had changed hands between many other owners before Calvin Klein bought it in 2003 for just under $30 million. Calvin Klein initially renovated the structure on the property and moved in for a while, but then decided to tear it all down and build a new house. He subsequently spent 30 years and about $45 million constructing a minimalist palace, as described by the New York Times. However, in February 2020, reports stated that Calvin Klein was selling the property in an off-market deal to billionaire hedge fund manager Ken Griffin, who has an estimated net worth of $12.8 billion and bought the most expensive home ever in the country in January 2019. Reports had it that the Meadow Lane sale closed in March at $84 million, purchased by Ken Griffin. These families, as well as other elites, have shaped the atmosphere of the Hamptons and preserved its status as a getaway for old money aristocrats, adding to its appeal and exclusivity. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Till next time.